The rain had no mercy that night. It came down in sheets, drenching the cracked pavements of Ojota, beating hard against the rusted zinc roofs of the makeshift stalls that lined the street. Between two abandoned kiosks, a young girl huddled beneath a broken umbrella that barely covered her thin shoulders. Her name was Amara, 19 years old, homeless, hungry, invisible. Her hair was tangled from weeks without proper shelter, her sandals worn thin, and her eyes hollow from too many nights of empty stomachs and broken promises. She had one possession she guarded like treasure, a torn photograph of her mother, smiling gently, a baby wrapped in her arms. The edges were frayed, but Amara held it every night before sleeping. Her mother had died when she was 10, leaving her to drift through foster homes that treated her more like a burden than a child. When she turned 16, she ran away, and since then, the streets had become both her prison and her home. That night, her hunger gnawed more fiercely than usual. She had eaten nothing since morning. The cold bit her bones as she watched people pass by with umbrellas, bags of groceries, laughter, and warmth, all the things she had lost. She whispered, "Mama, I don't know how long I can keep doing this." Across the road stood a First Trust Bank ATM glowing faintly through the rain. Amara's eyes caught a glimpse of something shiny on the ground near it. She hesitated, then crossed the road, her feet splashing through puddles. It was an ATM card, sleek, black, and gold-edged. She picked it up, wiping the raindrops to read the name printed in bold letters. Alexander Cole. She froze. The name was familiar, plastered on billboards and magazines. Alexander Cole, the billionaire CEO of Cole Industries, one of the most powerful men in Lagos. Her stomach growled again, painfully. She looked at the card, then at the ATM screen blinking insert card. She bit her lip hard. She had no home, no food, no help. She whispered to herself, just Nigerian Naira 1,000, maybe 2,000 Nigerian Nairas to buy bread. I'll find a way to return it later. With trembling hands, she slid the card into the machine. At that same moment, across town in a mansion overlooking the Lekki Lagoon, Alexander Cole sat in his office, staring blankly at his computer screen. To the world, he was everything, wealthy, commanding, untouchable. But to himself, he was hollow. 10 years ago, he had lost everything that mattered in a single car accident, his wife, Nora, and their baby girl. The car had exploded before rescuers could pull everyone out. The officials told him the bodies were unrecognizable. He buried 2 coffins, one empty. Since then, his heart had died quietly. He built empires, signed deals, and filled his mansion with silence. Not even his assistant, Mr. Durojiye, dared to disturb his solitude. That evening, Alexander's phone beeped with a fraud alert. Someone was attempting to use his card at an ATM in Ojota. Who the hell? He grabbed his jacket. Get the car. Within minutes, his convoy was speeding through the rain-soaked streets. At the ATM, Amara's heart pounded as she pressed withdrawal. The screen blinked. Then, suddenly, a loud voice broke the air. Thief! She's using someone's card. 2 security guards from the bank's night patrol ran toward her. Startled, Amara panicked, yanking the card out, but one guard grabbed her wrist roughly. I found it on the floor, she cried. I wasn't stealing. Tell that to the police, the other hissed, twisting her arm behind her back. A crowd gathered quickly, traders, Okada riders, curious passers-by. Phones came out. Someone was recording. Thief. She use person ATM. See her face. She know even shame. Amara's cheeks burned with humiliation. She was soaked, shivering, her hair plastered to her face. She kept repeating, I didn't steal, please. Then headlights cut through the crowd. A black SUV pulled up. The guards froze. A tall man in a tailored black coat stepped out. Alexander Cole. Even through the chaos, his presence silenced everyone. The guards bowed slightly. Sir, we caught her using your card. Amara's eyes widened. She recognized him instantly, the man from the billboards. The billionaire whose card she'd found. Please, sir, she stammered, tears mixing with rain. I didn't mean to. I found it. Alexander's cold eyes studied her, thin, drenched, trembling. You found it. His tone was razor-sharp. And you decided to use it? I was going to return it, she pleaded. I swear. I was hungry. Enough. His voice sliced through the air. Call the police. Sir, please, she cried, falling to her knees. I didn't. But Alexander turned away, rain dripping from his hair. People like you, he said quietly, make this city rot. As police officers dragged her into their van, something slipped from Amara's pocket, a torn photograph. It landed near Alexander's shoe. He bent to pick it up, intending to toss it aside, but froze. It was a picture of his late wife, Nora, smiling, holding a baby girl wrapped in a blue blanket. His chest tightened. For the first time in years, his pulse raced. He whispered, "Where did she get this?" But before he could ask, the van had driven off with Amara inside. That night, Alexander sat at his desk, staring at the photograph. His mind refused to settle. The girl, her eyes. They looked exactly like Nora's. And the photograph, he had a copy of the same one framed in his private study. He had taken that photo himself, the day before the accident. He pressed the intercom. Duroji. Yes, sir. Find out who that girl is. Everything. Her name, where she came from, who she's related to. I want answers by morning. Yes, sir. He dropped the phone and leaned back, memories flooding his mind like ghosts. Could it be no? Impossible. But his heart wouldn't let him sleep. At the Ojota police station, Amara sat in a cold, damp cell. The smell of sweat and despair clung to the walls. She hugged herself, trembling. Her mind replayed the humiliation, the crowd shouting, the billionaire's icy stare. Why is life so cruel? She whispered. Her cellmate, an older woman with rough eyes, laughed dryly. Because we were born on the wrong side of town, my dear. Amara said nothing. She stared at the ground, tears rolling silently. She thought of her mother, of the photo that had fallen. Mama, she whispered. Someone picked it, I know it. Please don't let them throw me away. The next morning, the cell door creaked open. You girl. You're free to go, an officer grunted. Amara blinked. What? But. Don't ask questions. Your bail's been paid. By who? The officer shrugged. Go before I change my mind. She stumbled out into the sunlight, shielding her eyes. At the gate, a sleek black car waited. The driver stepped out and opened the door for her. Mr. Cole wants to see you. Amara froze. What does he want now? To humiliate me again. The driver said nothing. She hesitated, then got in. The car ride was silent. Her heart pounded as the car pulled through the massive gates of Cole Mansion, a place she'd only seen in newspapers. Marble pillars, glass walls, a waterfall by the driveway. Everything screamed power and perfection, the kind of world that never belonged to people like her. Alexander waited in the living room, dressed in a gray suit, the photograph on the table before him. Amara stepped in, unsure whether to sit or run. Sit, he said quietly. She obeyed, her fingers fidgeting. Where did you get this photograph? He asked, holding it up. Her eyes widened. That's mine. Please, sir, give it back. Answer the question. It's my mother. She gave it to me before she died. His jaw tightened. What was your mother's name? Nora, she said softly. Nora Obi. The room fell silent. Alexander's heart stopped. Nora Obi. His late wife. He rose slowly, staring at her as if seeing a ghost. What did you say? She flinched. Nora Obi, sir. She died when I was 10. He gripped the back of the chair to steady himself. This can't be. Your full name, he whispered. Amara Obi. He turned away, his voice trembling. Get her something to eat, he ordered the maid. And prepare a guest room. Amara blinked. I don't understand. Stay here tonight, he said firmly. We'll talk tomorrow. As she ate, he stood by the window, staring at the storm outside, the same kind of rain that had fallen the night his family died. But now, A spark of hope he didn't dare believe in was lighting inside him. Could it be that his daughter was never dead? The next morning, Alexander watched Amara from a distance as she ate breakfast in the garden. Her movements, her expressions, her smile, all pieces of Nora. He needed proof. Without her knowing, he took the cup she drank from and handed it to his personal doctor, Dr. Salami. "I need a DNA test," he said quietly. "Match it with my blood sample on file." Dr. Salami raised an eyebrow. "May I ask?" "Just do it." Meanwhile, Amara wandered through the mansion, feeling out of place. Every portrait, every shiny surface reminded her she didn't belong there. Still, there was something strangely familiar about the place, as if she had walked those halls before in a dream. A maid smiled kindly at her. "You look like Madame Nora," she said softly. Amara blinked. "You knew her?" "Of course. I worked here before the accident. You were just a baby then." Amara's heart skipped. What accident? The maid froze, realizing she'd said too much. I'm sorry. I shouldn't speak of it." Amara's curiosity burned. "Please tell me." But the maid hurried away. That evening, as the mansion lights dimmed, Alexander sat alone in his study, fingers tapping the desk. He had tried to distract himself with work, but every thought circled back to her, the girl sleeping in his guest room. When the phone rang, he nearly jumped. "Dr. Salami," he said. "Yes, sir. The results are back." Alexander's throat went dry. And there was a pause. Then the doctor said softly, "Sir, it's a 99.9% match. She's your daughter." Alexander's breath caught. The room spun slightly. He gripped the edge of the desk, tears stinging his eyes. After 10 years of believing she was dead, after a decade of mourning and guilt, his daughter was alive. He whispered, "Thank you." He hung up and sank into the chair, burying his face in his hands. For the first time in years, Alexander Cole wept.